Why did the SEC go after XRP kind of first, if you will? In some ways, you look at that now and you say we're almost at the very, very end of that journey. I think that hopefully we have resolution. We can't control that now. The judge, will make the decision when she makes the decision. My estimation is sometime before the end of the summer. Somebody asked me, is that the end of August? I pointed out that September 21st is the end of summer. So
what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to dive into some recent news today, and I will be back home by the end of the week, so I'll get back into normal content. I'm currently recording on my laptop, so hopefully the audio quality is okay. So first up, this clip was shared by Bank XRP of Brad Garlinghouse predicting the final verdict for the court case to end this summer, whether that's August or late September. Now, coming up next month will be 1 year since XRP was determined not to be a security, and XRP had some nice price action, but it didn't quite hit $1. And just looking at the multiple cycles of the crypto asset class, the Bitcoin price chart on the monthly time frame. So historically, last cycle and even the previous cycle in 2017 when XRP was one of the best performing alts, the Bitcoin price chart went on major moves and all-time highs first, and then later other assets followed. And other considerations for last cycle is XRP was in a lawsuit. The SEC right in December of 2020 announced it. Bad press, exchange delistings, you name it. And what I've been saying all year is the most important thing for me to see personally is for Bitcoin to draw its first major moves and all-time highs like we've seen each cycle. Some altcoins have retraced higher and other assets are at all-time low prices. We are in accumulation. So when altcoins draw an accumulation or draw a spring for an all-time low price and it only lasts a few weeks, it's not really anything new. But if these accumulative structures actually last for years, it gets really concerning and everybody thinks there's something genuinely wrong with the assets. But this is just price action, this is market structure. You can see the same thing occur in the stock market as well. So prices will move when they move, and time, like I said, is a really important factor. It affects sentiment, patience, expectations, etc. So structurally, as long as Bitcoin stays above the 8-month EMA, currently at $56,933, everything looks fine for the next cycle to begin. Even during these climbs, we've seen wicks below, but for the most part, the monthly candle bodies, each cycle, specifically after the Bitcoin halving, stay above the 8-month EMA. So that's a super macro boring picture that I'm looking for the Bitcoin price chart. We know that we rejected the weekly and the monthly RSI, but the structure is still there. We can see Bitcoin dominance is somewhat staying the same or going higher, and when Bitcoin pulled back from 70K, alts can absolutely dump. So when I get back home on my other screen, I'll be able to dive into the price charts. Again, alt season hasn't happened yet. I hope it happens a lot sooner than later, but these structures are there. So I know the market structure might not be super fun right now, but we just have to let this play out. Staying above the 8-month EMA for the total crypto market cap, we can go down to total 2, wanting to see a similar thing holding above this level even if we wick below. I want to see monthly candle bodies like past cycles stay above. And then going down to total 3, we are getting close to the 8-month EMA. So just wanted to run through a few things I'm watching on the monthly time frame. I know it might be the longest time frame, the most boring time frame, but it's also the most valid specifically while we're waiting for the next cycle to begin. We'll also dive more into the Bitcoin Volatility Index maybe by the end of this week, specifically because this has dumped a lot and I'm waiting for this to climb to see a nice V-shaped recovery in the market. The last time that alts had some nice returns, doing those 20% days, if not more, the B-vol was climbing as well. So right now the B-vol is low. I still expect this to go well above 50 like previous cycles once we get moving. So there's been a lot going on in the XRP community with Ripple and their event Apex 2024, which just finished up recently, so we have a bunch to go over and some recent developments. We also know that the SEC is trying to get roughly $2 billion from the company Ripple, which is absolutely insane. That is dramatically higher than any crypto lawsuit in history, so I don't think they get a full $2 billion in penalties. That's just wild to even think about, thinking what happened with Luna, Celsius, and the billions of dollars the SEC didn't protect retail investors from. I also saw some recent talks of over $100 million in penalties in the recent lawsuit docs. James Filing covered this, and Moon Lambo did a great job going over this, because essentially they're just getting that number, the dollar amount for the penalties, and dividing it by the gross revenue and looking at comparable lawsuits and if that's fair. So we'll see how this goes. I know that Brad Garlinghouse is looking for the final verdict from the court to come out before September 21st. Next up, shared by Bank XRP, he uploaded this full video on his YouTube channel as well. This is David Schwartz at XRP Ledger Apex, 29 minutes long, tons of great information. Sitting through this, hearing everything that's going on, considering the EVM, considering 5 million plus active wallet holders, not just 5 million wallets, but actual activity, it's really convincing. I believe that XRP is here to stay. We're getting closer to 3 billion transactions on the XRP ledger. This is still much more than Ethereum today. And the usual stats for the stablecoin market cap expected to exceed $2.8 trillion by 2028. From here, that is a 17.5x. To 3 trillion, it's even higher. We can also see the usual tokenization forecast shared by BCG of a $16 trillion market opportunity for the tokenization of assets. So anyways, if you haven't watched this already, it's well worth your time. Really good information. David Schwartz goes over oracles. He goes over the decentralized identifiers. He goes over XRP in this liquidity hub setup with the AMM. He goes over also right here MPT or multi-purpose tokens. And I'm sure everybody heard about this, the new Ripple Fund accelerating innovation on the XRPL in Japan and Korea. So the XRPL Japan and Korea Fund will provide support for a range of robust initiatives to foster innovation on the XRPL in both countries, including corporate partnerships, developer grants, startup investments, and community growth. So Wave 7 of the XRPL Grants program saw Japan and Korea-based projects. We have VWBL and Moai Finance being awarded funding to continue building and scaling on the XRP ledger. So we can read more about that right here. So we have this Japanese group, the Viewable Protocol VWBL, focuses on utilizing NFTs to encapsulate encrypted data to authenticate real-world scenarios such as medical exams. An on-chain condition-based access control protocol and key management network that operates across multiple blockchains. We have Moai Finance developing a multi-chain decentralized exchange and cross-chain DEX aggregator to improve asset liquidity and utility within the XRPL. And their flagship product is an AMM, and we can see that Moai Finance seeks to expand their product to support the XRP Ledger mainnet and XRPL EVM sidechain to simplify the liquidity provision. We can also see this was announced at XRPL Apex. Ripple and Archax are expanding their partnership to bring hundreds of millions of dollars in tokenized real-world assets to the XRP Ledger over the next year. So we know that Archax is a really big group regulated in the UK, and they're also the same group leveraging Hedera and Ethereum for the tokenization of BlackRock's fund. So these institutions will be able to utilize the XRP ledger to tokenize their assets. We can see Trianglo, a Ripple partner, saying expect the Ripple stablecoin RLUSD, the real US dollar or Ripple US dollar, before the end of 2024. So I think this will be really important, especially considering the EVM sidechain, so the XRP ledger and Ethereum. And we know this old clip that we've shared before. This is, I believe, the Archax CEO shared by Good Morning Crypto discussing the tokenization of assets, trillions of dollars. So you can take this with a giant grain of salt or believe it when you see it, but the potential is there for a variety of networks. And if you listen to David Schwartz discuss interoperability in his recent keynote, it was such a good listen, discussing the future being multi-chain. I'm going to play this 1-minute clip shared by Altcoin Daily of Pompliano discussing with VanEck portfolio manager and head of digital asset research.
What is your bullish case for Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana right now, out of the research?
Yeah, so out of the research, the official price target on Bitcoin is 325,000, which is half the market cap of gold. We're going to have some new research soon that incorporates the layer 2 opportunity and should send the price target higher. For ETH, new report dropped today, 22,000 per coin. We estimate that the network is going to produce $70 billion of free cash flow by 2030, 33 times that. And then Solana, our base case was $300. That base case is obsolete now because we used a lower market share number for Solana because of some of the technical debt. And they've made a lot of progress. So bull case on that, 3,000.
365, 22,000, and 3,000.
So I thought that was interesting to even consider Bitcoin at half of gold's market cap. If Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana run in future cycles, what would the ROI be for other assets with a smaller market cap when that volume rotates? Even if the stock market went on another major run, it pushed all-time highs or ran even longer than a lot of us think, it wouldn't matter because the ROI in alts would still be dramatically higher. It's obviously not financial advice. I've shared my personal thoughts on these cycles, how they draw. Each one can be different, whether it's 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years long. But if we are even relatively close to Raoul Pal's total liquidity index projections for Bitcoin, for Ripple and Medico's $10 trillion market cap projection, or their prediction, BCG's tokenization estimate, if we're anywhere close to any of these, the upside is tremendous. And again, we're tired of waiting. We can believe it when we see it, but the potential is there. We're going to run through a few more important things, then we'll call it a day. So shared by Wrath Economin, an interesting aspect of this announcement is Archax originally signed for Medico's harmonized platform. So remember that Ripple acquired Medico. Medico, the custodian or custody solution, is on Ripple custody now. We talked about Medico's platform before harmonized, but now it's described working with Ripple for putting real-world assets on the XRPL. I saw Good Morning Crypto share this. This is the Wall Street Journal just about 3 days ago saying this. Stablecoins backed by US dollars provide demand for US public debt in a way to keep up with China. We had Brad Garlinghouse right here confirming that Ripple is working with 10 governments around the world. A CBDC is a stablecoin, it's just issued by the government. We had Anders share this, and this is really interesting. So we had Circle executives say Euro stablecoins will boom after MiCA goes live in 2 weeks. So MiCA, or Markets and Crypto Assets Regulation, is based in the European Union. We've dove into this before and we can see the timeline right there. So Circle, the issuer of USD and Euro stablecoins, believes that Euro-based stablecoins will continue rising over the coming days. Although US dollar-based stablecoin transactions account for over 90%, this figure will likely shrink as more issuers seek to build out of Europe issuing Euro stablecoins. So this is definitely something to consider for the Euro stablecoins with the MiCA regulation. But anyways guys, we have a lot of developments going on. We also know that Ripple closed the standard custody acquisition. So I should be 100% back to making content by the end of this week, guys. Thanks so much for your patience. I know the markets are boring right now, but I hope you enjoyed today's video. Huge thank you to all that hit the like button, and until next time.